There we go. Hey, good morning, everybody. It is December 31st, the last day of the last part of the decade. Although I don't know what else it would have been. It is December 31st, 2019. It is the start of a new decade. And let me go ahead and mute that. There we go. So now I can push that away. How's everybody doing this morning? Is there a level of excitement? Is there a little level of I don't know, giddiness, it's something. I know there is for me. And so we're going to have a little conversation about that. Before we get started, or as we're getting started, there is no before you get started because then you're starting even before then. Go ahead and send out your 3 messages. Your messages of joy, your messages of hope. I did a call last night for a new community. And I had somebody who said, well, how do I be, in the new year, I want to have more people to talk to. How do I become more social? And some of you know me, and you know that I can't teach you. I'm not a teacher. I'm a mentor. I put you into action. I'll give you a task to do right away. So I told him, I said, pull out your phone. I said, send out 5 messages to people you know, people you love. Send a smiley face. And I said, while I'm talking, if they start to respond, just type in the chat that they responded. And he typed in responde. I'm like, what'd they say? Some of them asked if you're okay. Let's see here. Hold on. Let's see which mic I'm on here. Scarlett. Testing. Yeah, I'm not sure either. Stacy. Nathan. Let's try this. Why is it not working? Testing 1, 2. It's not picking up this mic. No on off on this mic. This is live, folks. This isn't this is all live. Test. Why isn't there? How about that? Can you hear me now, Nathan? That sound any better? There you go. Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing the green light come on. The gain was way down. Thanks, Dana. So that being said, when he responded, I said, tell me what they said when they responded. Some of them asked, are you okay? I go, what'd you send him? He said, I was thinking about you and I appreciate you. Isn't that cool? So in that moment, I said, do you understand how to be more social now? He said, yeah. I said, that's something new for you. He said, yep. I said, okay, cool. So that's my point. That's the conversation for today. What's new? What does it mean to be new? What makes something new? So as we get started into that, let me ask, has anybody had a little aha? Oh, there's my Olga. Hola, Olga. Un
Hey,
besito.
Sean.
Hey, Steph.
Testing if you can hear me this time. How are you doing this morning?
I'm outstanding.
That's good. That's good. I did have a little wow moment because I have this video on YouTube. It's a guided visualization. Hey, I can finally say that word. Progress. Which deals with picturing yourself meeting yourself, like your future self in 5 years.
Yep.
And I've done that before multiple times, and I was always able to visualize it. But today it was just, I don't know, it was on a different level, and I couldn't stop smiling. I was tearing up, and felt that excitement that I can't wait for all of this to happen. And after it was done, I was writing it down, like everything that I felt and like what I saw. I wrote it down in my journal. And while I was writing that, I had the idea that I shared with you. Like it came up in that moment when I was writing it, because I saw myself, okay, in 5 years, like I would have this podcast and everything, what I told you, that's when the idea came, and that's when I reached out to you. And it was just crazy. Like, I've never had that, like, while I was writing something, that like a deer pops up like that. And while I was writing at the end of my journal, I wrote that things like, she is magnificent, she's powerful, she's amazing. And then I wrote, she is me. And it was a good feeling.
So, question.
Hmm.
When did you have the experience?
This morning.
When?
Well, it was not morning. It was like 11 a.m. or something.
Okay.
I didn't look at the exact time.
I'm going to keep asking you the question. You know, I love you.
I do.
Let me ask you this. When could you have never had the moment?
Huh?
Exactly. Every time you have this conversation, you're always having it when?
Now.
Yeah. So when you started to visualize, when were you visualizing?
I'm confused.
Your language said, I saw it happening. When was it happening?
In that moment.
It is happening.
Yeah. Okay.
Part of the dialogue, part of the little secret, part of the little twist that those that go, the Wallace D. Waddles, it's not about doing certain things. It's about doing things in a certain way. And the certain way that we lose track of, that we miss out on, the newness that we miss out on, is that the new only happens now. So all of that visualization, the reason that you felt good is because when was it happening?
Now.
And the reason that maybe you don't feel so good right now is because it's not happening when?
Now.
That's the difference. Imagine, have you, and please, you know I love you. Have you ever cooked or baked or anything? Is there something you like to cook or bake?
Yeah.
What's something you like to cook or bake?
Well, I did something yesterday. It was a delicious pasta with salmon.
Okay. So that goes on the stove, right? Or did it go in the oven?
Stove.
Stove. So it's on the stove and medium high heat, depending upon what you're doing with it. Boiling the water for the pasta is usually a high boil, right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine, listen carefully, folks. Hey, Heather, I love seeing that smiley face. I love seeing your faces, FYI.
I'm driving. And I take the long way because I don't lose your call the whole time. So maybe I can even talk.
Look at that smile. How could you not be in love with love? So back to Steph. Steph, you're boiling the water. You're all excited. The pasta's cooking. You take the pot off the water. You take the pot off the stove. Oh, I can't wait for the pasta. What just happened? And then you put I'm so excited. And you go put the pot back on the stove. Is it going to take longer to get your pasta cooked?
I'm trying to follow.
There you are. I'm like, where did she go? Okay, so watch this. You got the pot, you got this on the stove and it's boiling. You put the pasta in. It takes a while for the pasta to get soft, right? To get to the right.
Yeah.
So, but what happened? It's roar and boil. Oh God, I'm focused on the pasta. You know what? I'm going to think about something else right now. And that's your visualization. You just took it off the stove. If you don't feel that way that you felt while it was happening, you took it off the stove. You know how long it's going to take for you to get your dreams to come true, all of this stuff to come true?
Sheesh.
And then you put it back on the stove and you come back to this call. You come back to have a conversation with me or somebody else that you respect and that pushes you, that knows how to get your buttons going. And they put it back on the stove. What happens when you take a pot of water off the stove and it cools to room temperature? Is it going to instantly boil again once you put it back on?
No.
No, it's got to sit there and you're going, what the frick? God dang it, this thing was boiling last time I was here. The last time I was in the now, it was boiling. And then we get ticked off and we get mad and we get frustrated. We go, this shit doesn't work. This was all new. I was so excited about the new. You got to keep the new alive. Where did the new go? You took it off the stove.
Wow, I love that.
See, I can't teach you some metaphor that isn't real. I've got to, folks, if you listen to, and it's a pretty cool gift I have. I say this because if you take an example like I just did with Steph, what'd you cook yesterday? I knew where I was going. I had two stories that I could do, either oven or stove. If I put it in the oven, imagine cooking your favorite pizza and with the little crispy crust, the thin, or if you like the deep dish pan, but every 10 minutes you took it out of the oven for an hour or a day or a year, like we do with our goals. I'm going to implore you. I'm going to ask you to learn how to have a conversation in their language, not yours. Steph said, I get it now. Maybe she's not going to keep the pot on the stove the whole time still, but now at least it makes an example. It makes sense.
Yeah.
So here's the question. How do you keep the pot on the stove? How do you keep this newness on the stove? You sent me a text. You sent me a long text. It was awesome. Didn't that keep it on the stove?
Yeah.
But did sending me the text that you sent me asking me to do what you asked me to do, if I would participate, didn't that kind of like, I don't know if he's going to say yes. Maybe I just need to turn the heat down a little bit. I don't know. I don't want to keep the.
My gut feelings like said you're going to say yes.
Of course it did. Because your gut's smarter than you are. Our gut's smarter than all of us. Follow your damn gut.
If that isn't like a perfect topic for that first like conversation on the video, then I don't know.
Exactly. And that's what it's going to be. Do you know how I sit down, do my best to meditate 2 hours every day prior to this call to come up with something that I'm not sure where it comes from. Not sure why, but this one is kind of interesting because it's the end of the year. It's the last day of the decade. So we're going to have a conversation about New Year's. But you know what? I look back at last year's video on 12/31/18, and it's called Upgrade. And then the question comes, because we've been having this theme since Christmas, where does it go? Where did Christmas go? Where does it get stored? How do you go get it? How does it come back? Where does new go? I had this new idea. Where was it? And what makes it new? And then what instantly makes it old? See, Steph, if you go back to now putting those dreams together and having your guided visualization happen on a regular basis, is not today become old if right now you have a new visualization?
Mm.
When does something become old? What's the how does something that was new become old?
Good question.
Dana, I wrote down in a book, it was you or Bob said, deep fried truth and something. I'll have to find it. It's in the previous journal, but I came across it. I was reading it the other day where we talked about something kind of like that.
Dana is right. Like I have to write that in my journal right after because that was powerful.
So the key, but this is how I get to teach. This is a gift I've developed. Can you all do what I just did? Absolutely. Probably a heck of a lot better. I'm sure a lot better. My point is this: when we have a conversation, if you're having a conversation, this is always about building business, building our communities, building our teams, building our family's future, building generational future, generational wealth. So the question then becomes, if you're going to have this conversation, if you're going to do this, what makes it new? How do you have a new conversation with a prospect and make it old? See, you went to do the pasta when? Yesterday, Steph?
Yeah.
So we had a brand new conversation, but it was an old thought that you were comfortable with. She could understand that. She could follow me. There was this comparison. this, I don't know what the word is that you call it, where I was using that example as a life example. Somebody will type the word in there, because remember, I had a 0.9 grade point average in school. I wasn't the sharpest knife there. But you instantly said, oh God, that makes so much sense. My daddy said, if it makes sense, it'll make dollars. Figure out how to tell a freaking story. Don't make it about how smart you are. A boiling pot of pasta ain't like super sexy, but it made perfect sense in this. It was a new conversation for me. I don't know that I've ever used pasta as a training exercise. But how do you make, when did something become new? Steph and I's relationship isn't new. She teaching me teaching her, us mentoring each other isn't new. So how is this a new conversation? Because it took us to a new level. It took us to a new depth, whether it be deeper, whether it be higher, whether it be farther. It took us to a newer understanding. What is new? What defines it as new? Where does new go? Isn't this breath you're about to take right now, this breath that you just take, and then this breath, that exhale, isn't this all new? Have you ever taken this breath before? You have not. Have you ever sat in this chair at this moment? No, you have not. Have you ever, Heather's driven the road she's on a few times now, because she likes to take the long way on our conversations, but she's never driven it at this moment, at this day. This is new. How come few of us are absolutely ecstatic? The sun is about to come up. The moon is staying where it's at. All of this is new. It all's working out. The formula is still working, called the universe. And you have a crappy thought one day and you go, the world sucks. The world doesn't care about you. You have the responsibility to be in your own universe of joy. It doesn't, the sun is going to come up. The sun is going to come out tomorrow. That's why they didn't bring me on Broadway. Way off Broadway. So the point is, what is new? All of this is new. How come we're not jumping up and down and we're all ecstatic that, oh my God, it worked again. It worked again. And it's still working. The planets are all still in orbit. Jupiter is still doing what Jupiter does. It's still working. We're moving through space at cataclysmic speeds, and just all of this stuff is happening. The sun is still out there beaming 198 million miles away, and it's rotating and doing its stuff. When are you going to have your new level of excitement? Because I can promise you, you want to do something Grant Cardone says, freaking 10x your excitement. The people that are around you will probably call services and get rid of you. They'll have you put away. It's time for you to be put away in a community of like-minded misfits who have the desire, who have the passion, who amp it up, who take it to the next level. You can be wildly excited. Imagine if you had a secret. Imagine if you had this joy inside of you. Imagine that day you're hiding the surprise birthday party for weeks, and you're like, I can't stand it anymore. I can't wait till 6 o'clock tonight, and I don't have to hold this secret anymore. What if you held that for the rest of your life? What if you held this joy the rest of your life? How can you be less than ecstatic? I know how you can be less than ecstatic. I've been there. We forget in the moment. We forget in the moment what it means to be in the moment. That metaphor of taking the pot off the stove means we're no longer in the moment. The stove, the pasta will eventually cook. New Year's is coming. New Year's is coming tonight at midnight. Some of you may have already experienced it. Some of my team over in the Philippines, it's already happened. It's already New Year's. Well, how come it's not New Year's here? How come we haven't had the party? Because time moves across this planet. We have to rotate into that moment. You can't speed it up. You can't slow it down. You think you're good. You think you're tough. You think you're all that in a bag of chips. Make New Year's get here 1 minute sooner for us in the Central Time Zone or for you in the Eastern Time Zone. It'll be at freaking midnight. You can't do a damn thing about it. So then why are you not living in this moment? Why are you not living in this breath? How many of you have family you love? You know what? You still got them to love. What are you doing? Some of you have lost family. Be in this moment. Have them or don't have them. It's you that's still in this moment. This is your moment. This is all new. It's when you stop looking at it as if it's new, as if it's the same. There is nothing the same about today as there is yesterday, or yesterdecade, or yesteryear, or yestercentury. There is nothing the same. There's only an echo of same. And too many of us are living in the echoes, and we're not making our own voice. We're not here making ourselves heard. We're not showing up in the world as this wondrous, joyous individual. We're too much a part of a culture. We're too much part of a community. We're too much part of this. Well, no, we don't do that stuff. My race doesn't do that stuff. My religion doesn't do that stuff. Well, by God, why don't you do you? You want new? You want people to start to follow you? You want people to start to show up? Put your butt out there in a way. I shouldn't say that to some of this community. Put yourself out there in a way that causes people to say, that's excitement. That's elegance. That's sophistication. Yeah, you know. Yeah, I know. Put yourself out there in a way that says, I can stand solid in my own shoes. I don't need your like. I'll have it. I enjoy it. It's fun, but it's not going to change my pot on the stove. Whether you like me or not, I'm not going to take my pot off the stove for you. I am going to boil it, and I'm going to have my pasta in this lifetime, not the next. So here's the key, the thing that it's not hard, but our mind makes it so. We'll go dive into Joe Dispenza. Your mind is memory. There's nothing in your mind that's new. Think about that. There's nothing in your mind that's new. There isn't. Every time something shows up in your mind, it's memory. Even the thought of typing that is now a memory. That wasn't new. You had to think it to type it. It didn't type and you read that going, oh my God, it made sense. There was thought before the mind. The mind is the memory. When people say, have you lost your mind? How many of you, just type a 1. It's a little audience participation here. How many of you have ever had your mom say to you, or your dad say to you, or your friends say to you, have you lost your mind? If anybody's ever said that phrase to you, type a 1. You know what they said? They weren't even talking about your mind. They were talking about their mind. Have you lost your mind? Have you lost your place in the way I see you, is what they're saying. You were doing something new at that moment. Follow me. Follow me. You were doing something new in the moment. And when they say, have you lost your mind? You don't normally act that way. But more importantly, you don't act that way in my life. How could anybody get mad at you for doing something different? I understand it. I understand that maybe you did something stupid. Maybe you did something new. Maybe you asked, how many of your buddies, guys, I'm going to speak to this. You went out with a girl in school that and you didn't want anybody to know you were going out with that girl, and you went out with them and you told them, I went out with so-and-so, and they go, dude, have you lost your mind? Like what? What's the matter? We went out on a date. Nothing happened. Dude. And all of a sudden, you didn't act the way you should have acted in their life. That's all anybody's saying. When they're asking you, have you lost your mind? They're saying, have you lost the way you're supposed to operate in my life? Follow me on that. My mind has a picture of you. My mind has a picture of the way Steph's going to operate. My mind has a picture of the way Heather operates. And when Heather puts out a post that she's going to England to be interviewed, many people went, oh, that's so exciting. Who gives her the right to go to England to be interviewed on an all-expense paid trip with her family? People have thought she lost her mind. She didn't lose her mind. She finally found new and unique ways to express herself. But everybody that says, have you lost your mind? It's because you're not operating the way I see you to operate. So it goes back to that statement. Why is it so hard in our mind? Because our mind has memory, and your old story's running at 70,000 thoughts a day. Your reticular activating system isn't looking for the new. It's looking, how do I make my painting called life fit into the way everybody else sees me, not the way I see me. Exactly. I lose your minds every day, most every day. Some of you that know me well, it's like, here he goes again. Got him cranked up, cranking him up. No, it has nothing to do with the box. That's just somebody who wants to sell a book, Ginny. I mean that with love, but it's the box. There is no freaking box. There is no box. There's only mind. It's not that they can't think outside of it. It's that you haven't asked for permission to change the way you look inside of their life. When I started putting the crazy shirts on years ago, and now I do crazy shoes and sometimes crazy underwear, but we're not going there. It's not that they can't think outside of it. It's that they're not used to change. There was somebody on here, Tracy. I'm looking at her on the video. She came on one day when I said, we've just got to start to be different. She came on with big sunglasses and this polka dot sweater on backwards and her hair in pigtails. And there were people on the call that knew her that I could see their faces looking in their camera, just staring at her on the screen. I'm like, what the heck is going on over there at Tracy's house? She goes, I came to be new. Imagine if Heather put a red streak down that beautiful blonde hair. What would happen? If she just all of a sudden, she just got a wild hair, and on her way to work this morning, she pulls into a salon. She goes, I want a red streak right here. And she got a red streak in her hair. What do you think people would say at where she's going to work? Going, what'd you do? What'd you do?
Those old people would lose their mind.
They would. She just said it. She just said it. They would lose their mind. They would lose their memory of her. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to inject some values here. I'm going to step up. I'm going to be a little bit bold today. What? Sean being bold? I'm going to say, do something today to cause people to lose their freaking mind. And you want to know what that could be? You want to know how simple that could be? if you don't use the word I love you a lot, send people a text message that says, I love you. I appreciate you. Do something that is so wildly that the kid last night, his name was Christian, and he sent out these messages, and his best girl said to him, are you okay? I said, what was her response? He said, I appreciate you, and I was just thinking about you. Thank you for being in my life. That was his text. And I go, as soon as she responds, tell me. And I said, what's the response? And he wrote it in Spanish. And I said, so she asked if you're okay. I go, what did you send her? And he read me the text. I said, how cool is that? I said, have you ever had that in your relationship that you've had for 6 years now? He said, no, we haven't. Cause people to lose their mind. Isn't that what we do with prospects? See, all of it, there is no business training, ladies and gentlemen. It's called life training that you make money from. There is no business aptitude. There is no business allocation. It's called life that you learn to make money from. Most of you can't make money from your life. You think you've got to make it in business. Well, I'm here to let you in on a little secret. 2020, the decade of 2020, your profit is going to come from learning how to live life better, not how to do business better. Let that sink in. Let me check the numbers because people will be jumping off the call here in a little bit. This is about living life better. You want your business to grow? Start to live life better. Stop trying to be a business person. You'll never be a business person. You don't even want to be a business person. Because if you did, you'd start a traditional business where you have employees, where you tell them what to do. This is about living life better. And when you start to live life better, your business will grow, because we're in a business of taking care of people. We're in a business of helping people lose their freaking mind every single day. Imagine somebody comes to you, they sit down across the table from you, and you're going to tell them how great he is. You're going to tell them how powerful they are. You're going to tell them what they can do in life. You're going to tell them they can have their dreams. You've just blown their mind. You give new every single day. The challenge is you don't hang on to your own new. "2020, we're amping this up. This is going to be a call, not a monologue. Somebody's going to give me something they need right now. Somebody's working on a new right now. Somebody needs something on this call right now. And I would love for you to type it. I would love for you to have this conversation with me, because this is about taking it now, in this moment, today. This isn't a 10-year process. This isn't a 90-day freaking goal. You ever set a 90-day goal again, you're nuts. I'm going to ask you, set a 9-second goal. Can you amp up your energy in the next 9 seconds? Can any of you get more excited in the next 9 seconds? If you can get more excited in the next 9 seconds, which is now like 4 seconds since I started that, but can you get more excited right now? Can you get more energetic right now in this moment? I need you to take it up a little bit. I need you to start getting a little bit excited. Exactly, Rhonda. Jump out of your skin, because your skin is the old story. We get new skins on our phone all the time. We get new skins, computer background screens. I need you. I need you to find a way to amp up your enthusiasm, because this isn't about you sitting still any longer. The trees are any of you in a place where the trees have lost their leaves? Are any of you in a place where the trees have lost their leaves? Or have you ever seen a tree in the winter? Maybe you're living in the tropics. Is the tree dead? No, it is waiting to bloom again. But its roots are absolutely going crazy right now. They're still growing. They're still absorbing nutrients. The tree is still alive. We just don't see it. You know what's happened? Many of you have died. Your leaves have fallen off. And I got to tell you, it is time to get the leaves, the juice that's flowing through your body right now, that energy you feel right now, that juice that is waking you up. You have been alive for a long time. You know what's happened? You've been waiting for somebody else to tell you it's okay to bloom. I'm here to tell you it is time to bloom. You want new? Start blooming today. Start putting your leaves out. People are going to look at you and they're going to go, oh my God, look how beautiful. I can't imagine how beautiful you were. Where was this all the time? Where was this all the time? Where was this joy inside of you all the time? This is beautiful. Then what's going to happen is the other people that are looking at you aren't going to stand underneath you for the shade. They're other little trees going, why am I not like you? How come I don't have this huge trunk of stability, of consciousness, of awareness, of greatness? Why don't I have all of these branches of friends and community? I'm this little tiny sapling, and now I'm going to start to complain because you're going to block out my sun. There's an old Cherokee proverb that says, 2 branches are never foolish enough to fight amongst themselves for the sun. Why are you fighting amongst yourself for somebody else's sun? Go get your own damn sun. Jim Rohn said, you're not a tree. Pick yourself up and move. You want new? Are you going to step into 2020 with the same crap you've carried for the last 20 years? That's part of your story, but it's time for you to lose your mind. Whew. I'm pretty excited. But this is how I always am. This is the level that I live at. This is the level that I operate at. The soul inside of me is constantly in this state of joy, of excitement, of that. Anybody ever seen that emojicon? It looks like a little piece of dynamite, and he's got that grin on his face going, and he's just vibrating, going. When you call me, if you've ever had a conversation with me and you say, how are you? And I say, I'm outstanding. You know it. How am I able? How is it possible that when you call, I can be there? Has anybody ever wondered that? If he's got all this stuff going on, how can he always take a call? How does he respond to me? Usually it's kind of like pretty quick. Because I'm in joy when I'm with my family. I don't have prospects. I have family. I don't have prospects. I have family. I have people who are about to make my day better. And if they're going to make my day better, I'm in deep gratitude to them. Every one of you that have showed up here. Let's say I'm just looking. There's a whole bunch of new names that I see here. Welcome. You are your own nutrition. The problem is we're all eating a shitty mind. Shitty thoughts. What if you realized how absolutely incredible you were? What if you realized, Fanny, I love that picture. I love that smile. Here's what I will tell you. As you start to do more and more of your presentations and conversations, learn how to look in the camera, please. Fanny's looking at the camera. We are not stoics, at least not yet. So when I see these off the gaze posts, that's okay. I get those pictures. But when you're having a conversation with me, when you're doing a live, don't look at your damn screen. Look at the camera. Put some nail polish around the camera on your phone. Look there. You want to create connections in 2020? Start making connections in 2020. You want to do something new? Look somebody in the eye. And if they're right-handed, look in their right eye. Chances are most people are right-handed. If you notice they're left-handed, then look in their left eye. But you'll have a connection with them that you'll be like, and don't like stare at them like a cop, but look at them, give them a chance to connect. And I got to tell you, what happens when nobody pays to see you practice. Listen carefully. Every one of you that are on this call that don't have your camera on, you're allowing yourself to stay in practice. As soon as you turn your camera on, you have to what? You have to perform. It doesn't matter if you're not dressed to the nines. We don't want any nakedness, nudity on the call. My point is that show up and perform. Right now I'm performing. I'm in a t-shirt, I'm in a hat. Do I have shorts on? Yes, I have shorts on. I'm not in my underwear. Sometimes, you can do that on these calls. Show up, perform. Nobody pays to see you practice. Would you go spend $100 to watch the crew set up for your favorite band, your favorite artist? Just the crew set up. And then once they're done setting up, everybody leaves. No, you're there for the performance. Your prospects, your future family are there for the performance. If you're not performing when you show up, you're practicing. No reason, no wonder your check sucks. Ooh. Stop practicing. Start performing. We are in the performance business. Noah. I love Noah. So here's the thing real quick. Does anybody on here we're not going to go into what you need, but does anybody on here need a little pick me up today? I mean this sincerely. Is anybody going through a little bit of life right now that they could use a little bit of love?
Sean.
Yes.
Good morning, everyone. You actually gave me a pick me up yesterday. You gave me an aha moment, and I want to thank you for that as well. So I'm taking that into 2020. So I think that's it for me. Okay. And so yeah, now you made me turn my video on. So yeah, so yeah, so it won't be so much more of the picture anymore. So you'll see me talking. And when you see me talking, it's live and full color.
Here's the thing, just show up.
Right.
People want to know you're real. I see all of these to the 9 photos, right? Dressed to the 9s and the this and the that. You're beautiful. You're beautiful.
Thank you.
You're beautiful with your smile on. We don't need all of that other stuff. If you're going to be real in 2020, if you're going to take it to the next level, just go be real. My business changed when I stopped standing on a box and I started sitting down with people. People would put me on a pedestal. I've stood on stage in 30 plus countries, ladies and gentlemen. I've been translated into over 40 languages. I've built huge organizations. I'm a 3-time #1 best-selling Amazon book writer, whatever the hell that is. I've spoken to over 1 million people. I've created thousands and hundreds of thousands of people who make $50 and $500 a month. I've changed millions of families' lives around the world. You know what? I'm a farm boy from Ohio trying to figure it out. And every day I'm going to show up, and I'm going to show up to perform. This is
wow.
This is who you get. All of that does me, that and 25 cents gets me what? 25 cents. It's just a history that I get to perform I get to perform better every day for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think what it is, we start hearing the old voices in our minds, like, don't be egotistical or don't be ahead of yourself. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't put the kids in front of the horse. When you hear the old paradigms, like the old voices, I ain't gonna lie, those like blockages, like you could like eliminate them, but if it could hit you blindsidedly if you're not aware of them. And that's why, when you hear these things since you was a child, and you be like, oh, well, I remember, for love, money is the root of all evil. And you be like, oh, well, I don't want to make too much. Then you get stagnated, and then you in between the middle of nowhere, like whether you want to make more or you want to make less. But by you being on these motivational calls and self-development, you're around the right people, you're in a growth environment, not a fixed environment. Now the blockages start removing because now you're more aware of the things, the patterns that has stagnated you all your life. In order to get somewhere where you want to be in life, you got to eliminate your old self to become your new self.
So you are so right. And I'll go along with Elijah, overcome the subconscious. Here's the challenge. How many of you have ever gotten on the wrong bus? Gotten on the wrong plane? I've gotten on the wrong plane before. But the plane, everything looked inside the bus, right? All of a sudden you realize you're going in the wrong direction. That's your subconscious. And the way that we overcome the subconscious, Elijah, is that we've got to slow ourselves down. We've got to slow down that 60 to 70,000 thoughts. If you could have 20,000 thoughts a day, you will be world class at 20,000 thoughts a day. You don't know that's going on. But if you slow it down and you become more conscious of the thoughts that you have, you become aware that with every breath, I breathe in faith and courage. I exhale fear and doubt. I breathe in faith and courage. I exhale fear and doubt. I still do this on a daily basis. So we overcome that by being aware of it. And the more we become aware of it, the more we become aware of it. And we ask, is this a direction I'm going? Is this, I just adjusted the sail by being on the call this morning. Am I going in the right direction? Am I going to go at a faster pace? You want to do amazing things in 2020, do it by yourself. You want to go at light speed, do it with a team. Some of you are going to have to step up and accept that you're a part of a community, you're a part of a team. Some of you are going to have to ask for help. Some of you are going to have to change the way you have a conversation so people can ask you for help. You've been too cool, too cool for school. You've been too unapproachable. That's not how I wanted to be. It's not how you wanted to be. It's how you came off.
Sean, can I add something real quick?
Sure, please.
I love what you said about, the showing up and, her, standing there and no makeup on and everything. It just reminded me of that. So often people said to me or like taught it in like on calls and whatever, like when you record videos for social media, when you go on live, like make sure to look fresh, like look representable. But for me, it was always important to just be me, even if that meant like no makeup on, sitting in my hoodie, being at home. Even if I looked sick, I didn't care because, and I always said that in my videos, I want to show the real me. I'm a real human, and like I don't sit at my home with full makeup on like every day. And I like that you brought that up because it just supports what I felt was the right way to go for. So thank you for that.
Well, I appreciate that. And I gotta say, looking at your faces, seeing the live and in action faces, you are absolutely beyond amazing souls to see your smiles. I can't even my heart is just like, I'm gonna start crying because I see these faces. I mean, I'm looking at, and Mills, is it Sapphire? Am I saying that the right way? Is that how you? Look at that smile. Why would you ever put that behind a picture? Oh my God. And Elijah in his hair, Giovanni with that hair. I mean, look at that. And Terrell, he's there. That guy's hot. You all are sexy. You're amazing. This is incredible. Thank you. And there's Ralph. Look at Ralph in that smile. Look at this. This is just the best. And Stacy, I got to tell you, you're going to take it up to the next level. This is something you decided today to change your world. I know I'm supposed to be looking at the camera, but I'm looking at you all. There's Gisela. Hello, my love. And Wilfredo. And Yolanda. Listen, I think Yolanda needed some love. I'm not going to ask what it is. But if somebody needs some love on here, let's see, how can I do this? Type the word need. That's all you need. Type the word need, and we're just going to send you some love. We're going to pour it to you, into you through the thing. So Stacy needs some love. Just send Stacy some love, y'all. This is about changing the state of vibration. Rukaya. I think that's how you say it. Sadia needs it. Jesse needs it. Rovi needs it. I'm serious. If you need it, let's send them some love because this is what we're on this planet for. You want to change the world? Help people who are in need. There's a movie out there. I don't know if it's Disney or whoever, called The Robinsons. And one of the phrases that it says in there makes me tear up. Find a need, fill the need. That's all we do in this business, and we get paid for that. The universe sees that it is such a valuable gift of being able to fill a need that it rewards us in the monetary equivalent of how well we do this. 2020 is out there, but it's already inside of you. It's been inside of you. This next decade has been residing in you since the moment you were born. It's not so much the world needs you. Listen carefully. Your world needs you.
Want coffee, Data?
I'll take a cup. I love you, Shammy. Is this helping, folks? This is about a new you. Your you is already inside of you. That's the part. There is nothing new. They were going to shut down the what do you call it? The patent office in 1903 because they said everything new had been created. That we don't need to make patents anymore. Everything new has been created.
Hi.
How are you?
Sorry.
Hi, Shammy. Thank you for that. This is life. This is life. If we don't show up and live life, how the hell is any of our prospects going to go, well, I can't do that. People can be smarter than me. Absolutely. More experienced than me? Yes. My experience? Never. We need your experiences. We need your experiences. And there's Rhonda. She thought she was going to get off and not me not call on her. Rhonda Bird Parker, how are you, girl?
Man, if I was any better, there'd need to be like 7 of me. Because all this that you're talking about, I got to get up and move when I talk. Ugh. All this that you're talking about is what's happening in my life. People are popping into my life saying all these crazy, amazing things like the light that shines out of you is amazing. And these people don't even know me. You know, I love you. Your picture warmed my heart, all these crazy things. And it all started after I did exactly what you're talking about right now, which is just losing the old mind and just letting Rhonda be here. It's still sometimes hard to even say, but it's so much fun. It's so much fun because now, instead of sitting here on these calls, just listening, I participate in every one of y'all's lives. I get entangled in every one of y'all's energy in a good way. And I get to take y'all's smiles and your love and your experiences that I don't even know anything about. And I get to just enjoy them and love them. And this has always been inside of me, but I've never known how to live in it. I guess I was so worried with how everybody else wanted to perceive me or what they made me. And it stifled me to the point of a deadly sickness. And coming out of that and realizing what we have in life and realizing that we're here and we can be alive. And then these calls and all these people and all this love. And that's the one thing Sean told me. He was like, okay, as you do this awakening, are you ready for the love? And I'm like, what? This dude's nuts. What's he talking about? Am I ready for the love? Oh, I was not ready for the love. I am now. And I am just in joy and in gratitude. And I can be in a now and not worried about the next. So that's how I am this morning, Sean. I'm lit up. I'm like, ah, I've got my PJs on and my house robe, and I'm over here like working up a sweat. I'm like, I can't take my house robe off just yet because, oh my gosh, I'm on camera. So I'm like all excited and happy, and I don't know. I just want to share it with everybody. So I love y'all.
So thank you, Rhonda. I love you tons. I'm so grateful God poured you into my life. Here's the thing. She said an extremely important comment there. And that is, and I ask this to CEOs, I ask this to executives, and I ask it to single moms and dads who are starting in this business. The sooner you're prepared to be accepted for who you are, the sooner your business will grow without you even knowing. Last night, today's the last day of the month. Last night, there was 6 or 7 huge rank breaks in my organization. And they were so excited. Didn't even know about it. Didn't know about it till I saw somebody post something. They're just going through life. Nobody is working for the rank. Listen carefully. This is going to be contradictory to probably, you tell your coaches, you tell your upline this, they're going to come shoot me. They're going to put a contract out on me. Nobody builds this business for the rank. They build it for the recognition. How would you recognize everybody on your team at the highest rank? What's the highest rank in your organization? You don't need to type it in the chat, but just think about the highest rank in your organization. What has changed? You're taking care of more people. Give people the recognition to love more. Give people the recognition to feel more. Give people the recognition that they're actually important to you in your life, not to you and your business. This is the decade about life. Business will take care of itself. Y'all are absolutely amazing. I want to share what, there's Dana. I feel comfortable now. This call is finally in good hands. Good morning, Dana. Oh,
Well, good morning. I just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate this dialogue today. This was hugely powerful. And I just want to ask you to get the recording up as soon as possible, because I just want to relive this, romping into the new year, because this thing is full of some serious good information.
I will absolutely do that. And here's the funny thing. I don't know if less people are recording on Zoom, but they have been coming up quite quickly. So usually it's been taking a couple hours, but here recently it's maybe most people aren't doing calls on New Year's Day morning at 6:30 in the morning. But yeah, I'll get that up. I'll get it into the Daily Awakening group and on Trello, not Trello. What's that called? Telegram.
Sean?
Yes.
Hey, I just wanted to say something real quick that Rhonda also just said, that, people reaching out to her that don't even know her, telling her, how she's amazing and all those things. And I put in the chat, like a couple of days ago, someone did that with me. And literally while we're talking, someone just messaged me on Facebook and told me, I love your positivity and upbeat spirit. You rock, Steph.
So
and that person doesn't know me. Like,
so here's the thing. A couple of
I'm
things.
hopefully.
So let's change the way we look at that. It's not that they don't know you. You haven't connected in time and space, but they know you. It's a phenomenon called neural frequency, neural resonance, when your brain patterns and their brain patterns connect in time and space. And that's why they love you. That's why they know you. Because I've worked on it very diligently, I can look at somebody. We did this with Lonnie yesterday. She just posted a thing, said, I'm sorry. And we went on to a 20-minute conversation about this little 5-foot bundle of joy of the things that she deals with. And we had this whole conversation because she said one sentence. It's when you stop wanting to project and you start to profess your love for people, that you instantly have this connection with people. These strange things where people call you all the time or start reaching out to you. This has been something that's been happening for decades for me. Why? Who wants to talk to a farm boy? Who wants to talk to somebody who barely made it through high school? Who wants to talk to somebody who has never had a job? His only job was a corporate position. It's because we're connected in time and space. I can't believe this is the only time we've been here. I believe that we all know each other. We're all aware of each other. If we all have a belief in a higher source, that source connects us all, whatever that source is. So when people reach out to you and they say, I just, we haven't met, you're right, we haven't met, but we've known each other for years. Be aware of that. I sit with CEOs, CMOs, and executives, and the first thing I ask them is what I ask Rhonda, is what I ask all of my students, if you will. What we're about to go through is going to take you on a journey that you've probably not been before. So I've got to ask you, are you ready for something you've never had before? And that's unconditional love from people you've never met. Are you ready for the love? And everybody says what Rhonda says. I don't know what you're talking about. This doesn't have makes he's freaking nuts. I don't know what that means. But then all of a sudden it happens. It's like, oh my God, people are still calling me. They're still messaging me. What do I do? Love. Forgive them for not finding you sooner. This is what life is supposed to be like. This is exactly what it's supposed to be like. And it's supposed to be, watch this. Hey, Sapphire. That's what it's supposed to be like. That smile. Ada, how are you, my love? Watch this, watch this. Hi, Ada.
I'm good, Sean. How are you?
You get this? You get this? It's when we say their name, it's when we get recognition. There's Tammy and the little baby. Watch this. Hey, Wilfredo. No, he's gonna be stern. He's gonna be. Wilfredo, where are you? What part of the world are you in?
What was that?
What part of the world are you in?
In Boston.
In Boston. Okay.
Yes.
Get some beans and go down to the get the clam shack, get clam chowder. That's awesome to have you here, Wilfredo. Folks, when we say people's names, they can't help but smile. Look at that. Alicia's in Boston too. I would encourage you to smile more often. I would encourage you to smile more often. Constantine, how are you, my friend? We can't not help but smile. Learn how to make people smile. Love them for who they are. Be more excited. Let them use your energy. People are either going to pour into you or you're going to pour into other people. Do you really want some of those people out there pouring into you? When you go, look at that. They just poured into you. When somebody cuts you off in traffic, you go, look at, why'd you cut me off? They poured into you. How are you going to let people pour their crap into you? You're an amazing soul, filled with fire of life, filled with the love of joy, filled with this amazing capacity and capability that when you smile, you change the world. You change my world. You do. Good morning, Gisela. Look at that. This is what we get to do. So, what'd you learn? What'd you like today? Anybody want to share what'd you learn? What'd you like today? And for all of those you first time on this call, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Welcome. I hope I brought you some value. If anybody would want to share what they learned, what they liked today, that'd be great. One thing you learned, one thing you liked.
One quick thing, Sean, just to add to what we just talked about. That person literally just took your words and said, he doesn't know me on a personal level, but he feels a vibe through vibrations as the world turns.
So you now can have a conversation with him. Thank you for allowing me to share your energy on a call I do this morning, in the morning. And he's gonna go, oh, what do you mean you shared me? Yeah, your message came through at just the perfect time. Thanks for letting me to share you as an example of somebody who's amazing in this world. Your connection is sealed for life. Anyone else want to share anything they learned, anything they liked? Now, this is where you're going to amp up your business. This is where you're going to amp up your I don't even know the word I'm trying to say. Your chutzpah is when you start to share on these calls. I'm just I'm just a good guy. I'm just an average guy who seems to love life a little bit more so. Hey, Gisela, go ahead, my love.
Hey, good morning. My love to all of you. You remind me that I need to let my leaves out, that I have them probably in branches, and I just need to let them out more. And, and just to, show the gratitude and love to people in general, and to smile more, be myself. And thank you for reminding me that.
We need those reminders every day because the old patterns sit in there. The old patterns hang out in there. Thank you for sharing, Gisela. Anyone else want to share a takeaway? Life is not a script. Don't read it.
Hello.
Write it. Absolutely.
Hello.
Hey, good morning, Noah.
Hey, I'm doing this because I told myself in 2020, whatever comes to mind, I'm gonna take action. So when you said like whoever has anything to say, like if we got value, I got value from you saying, um, every breath that we take is new, and like we need to be excited about that. And so like I'm excited about every single new day. I'm excited about, the birds and the bees, things like that, the nature, everything that God has to offer for us. And I just decided, to not hold back, because every time we hold back, that just feeds, the fear and things that we have in our own mind. So I decided not to hold back and to take action and just speak on this call this morning.
Well, I appreciate it, Noah. Thank you. I love you, brother. You're just an amazing soul. And yeah, it's funny how the universe causes us to drop our connection sometimes when good things are happening. We've all seen that happen. I got to say something. Whoever invited you to this call, I want to say thank you to whoever invited you to the call. I also want to say thank you for you showing up. But somebody had, this is how communities grow. Somebody had enough faith in me. Somebody had enough faith in me to share this call with you because they get value.
I woke up at I woke up out of my sleep. I don't ever wake up at this time. It's I'm in California, and I woke up at 4:48. And for whatever reason, I decided to look it up because I looked at Matt Rose's post one time, and he was talking about how he woke up at 4:41. And just when I looked it up, it said that, the angels of abundance are with me and encouraging me in my manifestation of, or just encouraging me in what I have that's manifesting. So, I wrote down in my book, I'm so happy and grateful now that I bought my mom a house along with some other things. And, I'm really going all in 2020. Like I said, I'm taking action all day, every single day, in whatever I need to do. So I don't know if that's really what happened, but hey, I never wake up at that time. I decided to stay up. I seen Nano's his link in my notifications, and I decided to hop on. I said, why not? Because Nano's always got value to drop. So yeah.
Well, Noah, I appreciate it. And one of the things you'll find out is that when you become a connected spirit, you'll wake up between 3:30 and 3:45 every day. And that's just, it's when the spirits are, whatever time zone you're in, it doesn't, the spirits know enough about your time zone. But the universe, and you become a connected being with the rest of the world, and you're getting closer. But you'll start to wake up at 3:30, 3:45. Doesn't mean you need to get out of bed, but you'll start to look over and you'll see those numbers. And that's when you know you're connected. The universe has something to push through you to get out into the world. And that's kind of like their delivery time. Like when we send emails, like in the middle of the night, when the bandwidth is down, so it's easier for them to get through. The angels have a tendency to do that as well. So awesome. Appreciate that. Anyone else? What'd you learn? What'd you like? I love this call. You guys make this call so possible. And
I
so
love this call too, Sean. I would love to say something.
please, Stacy.
First of all, what you just said about the delivery time of 3:30 and 3:45, this is my first time ever on the call here, and I'm so happy. My daughter's only 3, And she has been waking up the last few weeks between 3:30 and 3:45. And I have been asking and wondering why? Well, that is literally my answer. And I thank you.
So how old is your daughter?
She is 3.
Okay. I'd ask her some questions. I just say, what are you feeling? And be amazed at some of the answers she gives, because it's a message for you. And I know this sounds crazy and everything else, but stranger things have happened, right? So there's an I can't even say it. I know how to say it when the priest says it. But just be aware of it and wake up in joy with her. Because it's like, oh, I got to go to work. Change the way you look at things. What Dr. Wayne Dyer says, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. When she wakes up, know that she is this connected being. And that in this connection, she's changing the world. She just changed. Listen, Stacy, she just changed the world for us. You realize how powerful your daughter is? There are 58 people on this call right now who your daughter just impacted. Whether they know it or not, your daughter just impacted. She changed the world. I need you to hear that. This is your daughter. This is your soul. This is your creation. And it's okay if you tear up.
Thank you so much. Her name is Zora, and she is a warrior queen. She is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing this with me, family and friends. Thank you.
Yay! I love it. This is so cool.
I love it too.
Thank you, Stacy, for showing up, and thank you for sharing. It would have been sad that secret of Zora had not been shared with us. I love it. Folks, this is what calls are supposed to be like. Nano does a call that's amazing like this. I'll take just the slightest bit of credit. He said, I'm going to start doing that. And he's done it. And he's done it better. He's done it more. He does it. He's just got this amazing thing that's going to happen. And I got to tell you, he didn't know he could do it. Wasn't on his calendar, wasn't on his schedule. And now look what it's turned into. It wasn't long ago. There was only a couple hundred people on that call. Then there was 500 on the call. I don't know what the number's at. This call goes from 90 to 9. It doesn't matter. Show up. Show up in joy. Show up in life. And be aware that, listen to this very carefully, each and every one of you. You are an absolutely amazing soul that brings so much joy to the world. The world hasn't figured out yet how to pay you back, but it's storing it up and it's getting ready to dump it all in your lap. God, what a great call. Thank you for making
Sean.
Hey, Elijah, how are you, brother?
I'm doing phenomenal and only getting better. But I just really quick, I wanted to say 3 things. I love all of you. Go into 2020 and be 10 times bolder. And there's some damn good genetics on this call, so keep being you.
I love it, brother. I appreciate it. Hey, I gotta say this. We would have never met in the business world. We would have never met. Very few of you would have ever had the honor and privilege and chance of meeting you in the business world. But in the people world, in the living life world, I get to love you. I get to meet you. 54-year-old white guys don't hang out with 20-year-old hot Latina women. We just don't. We don't. I don't get to hang out with sexy German girls. We just don't. But in this profession called life, I get to meet every one of you. And I can't even, there's no way that I would have ever been able to fall in love with a Nano. Would have never been able to fall in love with a Nano had it not been for this profession. Had it not been for his chutzpah, for him having the cojones to find me in a corner and say, dude, I got to say thank you to you. That turned out, Gisela, you are 20, right? Aren't you like 23 right now? And for me and Nano, for Nano to find me and have the cojones to come to stop a group, go into the pool and go, I'm going in there to say thank you to this guy. That's the guy that said hello to me when I first got here. And then he ran the whole freaking shooting match. And then and that started this relationship, ladies and gentlemen, is this young buck of a soul who's wise beyond his years, who was looking for somebody who didn't care where he came from, didn't care what he did, didn't care what he was doing, just loved him as a human being, loved him as a brother from the second I met him, because he was kind of cautious. He's like, what is this dude doing? What's this guy doing? What's this out of touch dude doing? And we fell in love. And I absolutely am honored to have you all show up here. So there you go. Now you know why I can take a sentence and turn it into an 8-hour training, because I'm just looking at the time going, okay, time to go. Listen, we're going to do this tomorrow morning. Now, some of you may not be able to make it tomorrow morning because you may have a little bit of a hungover. But
Not me.
That's the moment where I'm glad I'm from Germany, because it's not going to be in my morning.
But we will do this call again tomorrow, 6:30 a.m. Life happens every day. Just the fact that something shows up on a calendar doesn't keep me from doing what I promise. So there you go. I love you all very much. Thanks for being here today. I'd encourage you to invite somebody tomorrow to the call. I can't promise you what it's going to be, but I bet it'll be pretty good. Because tomorrow's going to be about, again, the start. So there you go. Love you tons. Appreciate y'all. I'm Sean Murphy, founder of Mental Profits. I'll see y'all where? At the next event. Love you tons.
Appreciate you, Sean.
Thank you, man.
Love you, Sean.
Thank you. Hey,
Yes, Happy New Year to
Thank
everyone.
you.
wish everybody Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
See y'all next year.
Happy new decade.
You had to say it.
Hey,
Yes.
feliz año a todos.
Feliz
Los
año
amo.
a todos. Prospero año nuevo.
Right.
Te quiero todo. Te quiero mucho.
Ujú.